Well, howdy folks, and welcome back to the PI Guide channel. In this video, folks, we will take a deep dive into the primary types of injury-related surveillance jobs most private investigators will be involved in. That deep dive will look at many facets and intricate parts to those investigations, and I will let you know what you need to watch out for with each one. Before we get started, I wanted to quickly mention the PI Guide channel membership program. If you look below this video, you will see a button that says Join. If you click on that Join button, you will get a ton of information on what awaits you as a PI Guide channel member. Channel membership has 3 levels. Those 3 levels are PI Guide Supporter, which offers you premium training discounts from time to time, book discounts on occasion, and early access to certain new videos, as well periodic white papers and PI document releases. But wait, you can upgrade to PI Guide Supporter Plus and receive all of that, plus you will get video credit listings where I put your name up in a video, priority replies to comments, as well more exclusive white papers and articles. And then there is the PI Guide Premium Supporter level, which gets you everything a PI Guide Supporter gets, plus what the PI Guide Supporter Plus gets, plus member shoutouts in certain videos, priority consideration for video content, as well many free PI documents and form templates. So if you want more information, go ahead and click that join button, or you can click the link in the description below for more information as well, and I will put a link to the Discord server where there is even more information. And you know what? I have free, yes, free perks for all Discord members, whether they are a PI Guide channel member or not. So you definitely want to check out the Discord server, and thank you so much for considering becoming a PI Guide supporter. Our first injury-related surveillance case type that we will take a good look at is personal injury cases. These are cases involving a subject who was injured due to someone else's negligence or alleged negligence. A personal injury case could fall into many categories themselves. Let's take a look at some of those subcategories. First and most common is going to be motor vehicle accident injuries. These are obviously going to be related to car accidents. So the subject of the investigation may have been the driver of a car injured by someone else's negligent driving, like a rear-end accident, a T-bone, head-on, or other type of car accident. These could also involve cars, pickups, trucks, motorcycles, bicycles, pedestrian vehicle-related accidents, or any other accident involving any type of motor vehicle. With motor vehicle injury-related cases, you as a PI may be hired to look into the affairs of the injured party or even the defendant in the case. I have had many cases where I was hired by the plaintiff's attorney to conduct a surveillance on the defendant in a motor vehicle case. In these types of scenarios, we are often looking to see what the defendant's driving patterns are, if the defendant may have injuries related to the case, and we usually will conduct a background on the defendant looking for similar type cases in the past. Now, when we are working a surveillance involving the injured party, these are a little different, but in most cases, surveillance on the injured party is similar across most types of injury-related cases, and we will take a deep look at those requirements in just a few moments. Injury-related cases may also include medical malpractice lawsuits. I have worked a lot of these in the past, both on the plaintiff and on the defendant side of things. If I am working the plaintiff side, we are usually conducting a comprehensive background on the defendant, looking for other similar cases. As well, we will usually do a comprehensive surveillance of the defendant in what we call a lifestyle surveillance. In a lifestyle surveillance, we are trying to ascertain and document what the defendant does on a daily basis. Does he or she just get up every morning, go to work, then go back home? Or do they get up, go to work, then go to lunch every day and have a couple of glasses of wine, then go back to work, then stop by their favorite bar most nights for a few cocktails? Lifestyle surveillance investigations come in all sizes and shapes and really do take on a life of their own once they get started. Product liability is another injury-related case you may run into from time to time as a private investigator. In a product liability case, as with all injury-related cases, there is the injured party surveillance side, which is the most common, and then there is the defendant side. If I am working for the injured party and surveilling the defendant, I am going to first be looking at other similar types of product liability claims against the defendant as well as competitors and see what commonalities they may have. Surveillance for the plaintiff's side of these types of cases is rare, but when it does come up, it will often include stationary surveillance while observing a manufacturing plant or a warehouse, and could even include some undercover surveillance going into the facility to see how the company operates. Slip and fall injuries or premise injuries are common for private investigators as well. These types of cases will involve an individual getting injured on a property due to the negligence of the property owner. So if there are situations where there is ice buildup on a public sidewalk, water spilled on a floor, tripping hazards, or other things related to a person getting injured, which the defendant could have avoided with proper care and maintenance, then there could be a premise-related injury case. The most common type of injury-related case for most private investigators is going to be in the category of workers' compensation cases. A workers' compensation insurance case is going to involve the injured party getting injured while at work. These injuries may be due to negligence, but then they may be due to common work-related risks as well. Either way, the employer is usually going to be covered and is often required by law to be covered by workers' compensation insurance for these types of situations. More times than not, you will find yourself working these for the insurance company, so you will be surveilling the injured party. Now, regardless of how the injury occurred, be it a motor vehicle accident, a medical malpractice, product liability, premise injury, workers' comp related, or any other case, if you are surveilling the injured party, you need to keep some key things in mind. One of the biggest things you need to know, folks, is that most injured parties today are represented by legal counsel, meaning the person you are surveilling probably has an attorney. If they have an attorney, and you should assume they have an attorney unless you have specific information leading you to believe they are not represented, you need to keep these things in mind. First, if they are represented, you can bet your bottom dollar the attorney has already advised them as to the fact they may be surveilled, how to detect surveillance, and what to do if they believe they are being surveilled. As well, if they are represented by legal counsel, you, in most cases, cannot have any contact, even incidental contact, with the injured party. Now, I am not an attorney. I cannot give you legal advice, so you need to check with your state's laws and your PI licensing regulations regarding this. But from my experience, if you have even incidental contact with the injured party while during surveillance, it could jeopardize the entire investigation and lead to having all your evidence being inadmissible. Incidental contact, by the way, is contact in a minor nature which occurs within a normal or typical way. So if you are following the subject into a grocery store and your paths cross and you say something to them or accidentally bump into them or whatever, it is incidental contact. Before we discuss what you should be watching for and documenting when conducting surveillance on an injured party, I have another huge thing you need to keep in mind. This one is tough for a lot of surveillance investigators to remember. Folks, we are not judge or jury when we are doing surveillance or any other type of investigation for that matter. We, as professional private investigators, are finders of the fact. We should be documenting and reporting the evidence that presents itself while we are working the case. Our job is not, I repeat, not to get the goods on the subject. I don't care what your client says. You are not out there to only report the good stuff, the damning evidence that proves your subject is in the wrong. Your job is to report all the findings, all the happenings, good, bad, or indifferent to your client's case. Now, how do you go about documenting all the facts that present themselves during surveillance? The most common way of documenting these facts is to video record the activities of the claimant, and that means you video record all their activities, not just some of those activities which help your client's case. When I am working any injury-related case, I am going to be getting video of all my subject's activities and reporting them objectively, not subjectively, in my report. So in my report, I do not put things like the subject was observed walking, showing no signs of pain. I do not put things like the claimant picked up a 20-pound bag of potatoes with little to no effort. I might enter into my report something like this. During surveillance, the claimant was observed and captured on video walking and picking up a bag of potatoes that weighed approximately 20 pounds. That is simple, To the point and only the facts. If the attorneys or the insurance company need an expert opinion as to whether the subject displayed any difficulties or signs of injury, they can and will have a medical expert give that opinion. Now hang on, it ain't over yet, folks. I have even more surveillance secrets I want to tell you. You see this video right here? Well, I made it just for you, and it is chock full of 12, count them, 12 tips to ensure your surveillance is a success. So go ahead, click on it, and watch it now.